Hey, what's going on, ladies and gents? This is Noob Sniper, and today is Wednesday, April 22nd, and there was a massive Bungie stream with all the information about House of Wolves, how to upgrade gear, Prison of Elders, the Trials of Osiris, which will be touched on more next week, but there was a lot of information dropped today. So what I did was I took some of the screenshots from Bungie's stream, and we're going to go ahead and talk about them. I'm going to try to be as concise as possible, although there is a lot of information. I'll toss my thoughts here and there. You're going to hear me mouse clicking all over the place because I'm managing a whole bunch of things, but without further ado, let's get right into it. The video starts off in the reef here. This is a minor overview of what the reef looks like. I apologize also because it is a direct screenshot. You are going to see Christopher Barnett, Deej, and Gathalion there in the corner the whole time. They're going to be our special guest this episode. Petra. Petra is the queen from the Queen's Wrath that we knew right in the beginning of Destiny's life cycle. That kind of just went to shit and was kind of just, it happened one or two times and that's it. This is her. She looks all badass now. She does have an eye patch, which you probably can't make out. So it looks like she kind of been in some kind of struggle, which is pretty damn cool. We have our Queen's Wrath. It's back. These are the Queen's Wrath bounties. Now, previously the bounties were slightly different. Now they are actually called wanted bounties, which are kind of like the VIP assassination missions on in Patrol. These are actually wanted bounties that you go out and hunt specific enemies. So as you can see here, wanted Drevis Wolf Baroness. So hunt Drevis the Wolf Baroness near the Cosmodrome. And it reads here, Drevis led a strike of Silent Fang in the rays of Amethyst, an attack which killed my sisters. Show her no mercy. You can see it gives 250 Queen's Wrath experience and reputation and 4,500 experience. So clearly this is going to be a rank up system, of course. Wanted Beltrick the Veiled. Hunt Beltrick the Veiled in Ember Caves on Venus. So now we have Earth and Venus. When Paladin Abrazire heard of Beltrick's escape, she was angry enough to destroy an asteroid. Another one. I got some more Queen's Wrath reputation and experience there. Wanted Mecher or Mecher Orbix 11. I'm going to say that's Mecher. Hunt Mecher Orbix 11 near Ishtar Cliffs on Venus. They say the Orbix servitors once served a long-lost fallen house. Let's make them stay lost. Now, these are slightly different, although they look the same. I think these are more like killed enemies. Multiple enemies versus the other ones are just single targets. So, Wolf Scavengers. Hunt the wanted wolf scavengers in the halls of wisdom on the moon. So now I have the Earth, the moon, and Venus. A group of wolf scavengers were spotted making runs into Hive territory. Don't care what they're up to, put them down. Now these are worth seemingly a little less experience than the other assassination missions, so these might be more of collect the items. It's a little bit easier, but you have to do more of it. Queenbreaker Vandals. Hunt the wanted Queenbreaker Vandals in the Cinders on Venus. The Queenbreakers are wolves who pledged themselves to the Queen and then betrayed her. Show them no mercy. We got Howling Raiders. Hunt the Howling Raiders in the Halls of Whispers on Venus. So we got Venus, Earth, and the Moon. Skolas has sent some of his best thieves into the archive. Don't let them leave alive. So what it seems is that the first three are a little bit harder, last three a little bit more monotonous. That's cool. So the emblems and the shaders from the previous Queen's Wrath are still here, which is great. Now we also have a few new shaders. We have Pallas Victorious, which is kind of a pink, blue, brown, which looks cool. This is good, something I'm literally looking forward to. Imogen's Fire or Imogen's Fire. Looks really, really cool. And then we have a ship, Ceres Galliot. Long-range ships designed to patrol the reef and beyond. This thing looks epic. It is super cool. Super cool looking. Really, really looking forward to getting that one, because, man, it looks badass. So it kind of looks like the inside of a flower, if I had to, kind of speculate. I don't know, it reminds me of petals. So we're moving on here. This is the House of Judgment, and this Kel is Verix, and it reads there, Verix is loyal to the Queen and has no love for the Kels who have taken command of the fallen houses. Now the whole Prison of Elders is the PvE portion of the House of Wolves. This is a kind of like it's more like a raid. It's raid-esque, and it's raid tier difficult. So it has different rewards every week, which is something that has been kind of interesting. There are going to be different rewards, different modifiers every week as well. It's going to pertain and going to fit in the schedule of weekly resets. So it's going to reset on Tuesday, after a full week, then it'll reset again, and you can do it again. And as you can see here, you can preview what the gear is. Unlike a weekly or a Nightfall, you kind of don't know what you're going to get. Whereas here, you can actually work towards getting a specific thing, which is actually really nice. So it's not going to be a random or guessing game. It's going to be kind of on a pattern or predictable at least. So maybe after 4 or 5 weeks, we can start seeing patterns and figure out, okay, so maybe next week's going to be the AR and the gloves. The following week is going to be boots and fusion rifle or something like that. All right, so the reputation details. The actual rep itself is called House of Judgment, and you increase your notoriety with the House of Judgment by defeating enemies in the Prison of Elders. So you defeat enemies and you get yourself some rep. That's what I guess. We got Fallen Cores obtained by completing arena challenges, and the Judgment token, which is obtained by opening chests in the arena, killing wanted fallen, and increase reputation with the House of Judgment. So by opening chests, you get random amount of Judgment token or tokens, killing the wanted fallen, which is the bounties for the queen, and increasing reputation with the House of Judgment. I assume like a package, you every time you rank up, you get a certain amount of these. That's pretty damn cool. Now, for those of you who are wondering about the arena itself is a 3-man raid tier difficulty horde mode, where you have to go through waves of enemies and levels of enemies and get progressively harder. If I had to guess, I would say it's going to either be 3 tier or 5 tier, meaning you have to do like 3 sets of enemies or 5 sets of enemies, depend on, that's my guess. Maybe it's 10, maybe it's 100, who knows? That's my guess. This looks pretty cool. Let's talk a little bit more about the gear itself. The Hellbreaker's gloves. We see light goes up to 42, so this will get you to rank, light level 34 once you have 4 pieces of light 42 gear. It's a little confusing, but your overall rank can get to 34 if you get these gloves, or can help towards it. And we see the perks here: chance to generate orbs when killing fallen with melee attacks, increased reload speed with special weapons, and increased grenade throw distance. And it requires 1 armor core. If we look back at, you can get fallen cores from completing arena challenges. I'm guessing the challenges are going to be more end game challenges versus being able to do it kind of like, oh, I'm going to get 16 of these every week. No, it's probably going to be like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 every week. We got the Wolfslayer's Claw, which we'll look at the perks a little bit later, but we look at the overall stats here. It starts off at 365, so you don't have to worry about upgrading it. Has a pretty good fire rate, impact, range, stability, reload. It's kind of like a Vanquisher meets a Suros. It looks pretty damn solid. It's not a pea shooter by any means. Then we have Judgment's Chance, which is really interesting. It's a package, and it says attain for a chance to acquire Prison of Elders reward. Now this requires armor core and a weapon core. The weapon core obviously gets you the weapon, armor core gets you the piece of armor. However, you can get a chance at something random. So I'm wondering if every week you can get 1 armor core, maybe 1 weapon core, and you can either bank on getting something random or have a guaranteed, okay, this is the armor, this is the gun, this is what I want. I don't know. It looks really interesting. I'm wondering if this is going to be other Prison of Elders gear that you can get. I'm not sure, but it's pretty cool. It's random. It's a little bit of RNG, which is alright with me. Here is the Wolfslayer's Claw in its entirety. It looks really, really cool. It's a nice blue looking gun. Got some really cool spikes up front. It's got a nice like red glowing heat signature looking thing. As for perks, from what I can tell here, we have Crowd Control, Send It, Field Scout, and Perfect Balance or Counterbalance, whatever that Perfect Balance perk is. And then that perk there, I believe, is this weapon deals moderate bonus damage to fallen shanks. And from what Gathalion was saying in the stream, it's called Shank Burn. So you can do a little more damage to shanks. I'm guessing shanks are going to be a big part of the Prison of Elders. So all in all, some pretty damn cool stuff there. Here's a screenshot of the Queen's guards guarding the Queen. There's a massive banner above these folks, but I just took this quick screenshot here. No real purpose, just to fill in the ambiance. Here we have Brother Vance, the disciple of Osiris. Now, people thought this was the new Cryptarch. People thought that he's going to be the next asshole along with Xur, but actually, he is a Trials of Osiris vendor, essentially. Now, the Trials of Osiris is the PvP portion of this House of Wolves. It will also have consumables, as you can see, trial supplies, which I'll show you guys in just a second. It is a 4-day event, so unlike Xur, who comes on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Trials of Osiris happens every week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and leaves Tuesday morning. So it is a full 4-day event. And Triple Work will be on next Wednesday. He'll be on talking more about the Trials of Osiris. Again, the PvP portion, which is going to be pretty damn cool. It looks really, really good. It's a 3v3 tournament-esque ladder. It has buy-ins and whatnot, which is really, really cool. There are also some images of the gear that you can attain on DestinyTheGame.net, which I will try to put here. This is something I saw that Deej really didn't want to show, but he accidentally did. This is called a Stone Tier Trials reward. Now it reads, Trials participants earn the right to Stone Tier prizes. It requires a little bit of glimmer and requires 2 wins on a single Trials passage. I'm guessing that means 2 wins in a row, at least 2 wins in a row. Now, if you take a look at the actual packages themselves, there's 2 blues and 2 purples. Of note, in the purple, the second purple looks bigger than the first purple. So I'm wondering if that next package is maybe 3, 4, or 5 wins in the single Trials passage, and then the purple, the same thing, maybe 10 or 15. Looks really, really cool. I'm wondering what this is. I hope that it is less RNG and more like if you get a blue, you're definitely going to get a blue weapon or maybe a legendary, or in the legendary packages you can get legendary and exotics. I hope it's something like that and not too random, but we'll see. As for the trial supplies here, this is similar to the Iron Banner where you can get the temper buff, but instead of an experience buff, experience doesn't really matter. There's no rank in Trials of Osiris. You don't need to rank up to rank 5 to buy anything. It's random, it seems, with those packages, but these these supplies can actually help you. The Favor of Osiris grants you a favor. You'll start the trial with a win already. So let's say you want to get that blue package, that stone tier package, you can buy your favor and then just win 1 match and you'll be able to acquire your package because you already have technically 2 wins. The Mercy of Osiris is that you've been granted mercy. Your first loss in the trials will be forgiven. So that's pretty cool. If your whole team buys, let's say, Mercy of Osiris, you guys play, on your 3rd match, you guys, unfortunately, it was a close match, you guys lose, it doesn't matter, you have Mercy of Osiris, you guys can continue on, it's like as if you had never lost. And then you have Boon of Osiris. You've been granted a boon. Winning your first trials match will count as 2. Now, this is going to be something that a lot of people use, because the way I kind of heard with the leak is that this is a buy-in system, so there's no limit on how many times you could do a week. As long as you have 1 Mode of Light, that is your buy-in to the tournament. Now, Boon of Osiris is interesting because if you win your first match, it actually counts as 2. So winning 1 match is 2. I see a lot of people are going to be kind of speculating. I'm going to guess there's going to be some kind of limit. You can't just buy 100 Boons of Osiris or 100 Mercies or whatever. I'm guessing it's going to be like 1 every 12 hours or something, maybe. We also see here a passage coin, which I'm not sure. They don't really talk on too much. I'm going to guess it's either a purchasable or acquirable currency. Over here we have the bounty tracker. This is actually a bot that's in the reef and not in the tower. He apparently has all the bounties that are on Earth. On the tower, so I'm wondering if there's actually going to be 2 sets of available bounties. I wonder if there's going to be bounties on the tower, bounties on the reef, and both are doable, or will you have to have only 1 set and they count for both? I don't know, but it does look exactly the same as before. Here is the new vault, which kind of looks high-tech. I like it. It's kind of like an ATM, which is pretty cool. And that's right beside the bounty tracker, and then right to the right of that is our postmaster. The Cryptarch is not here. Cryptarch is in the tower. We are in the tower here. I apologize for some of the screenshots from the next portion. They're going to be sometimes stretched and kind of look really ass crappy, but I apologize in advance. Once you go to the reef and once you come back to the tower, you get this first mission that says, and it's called Hunt for the Skolas or Skalas. Intercept the fallen wolves who have fled to Venus. And the beautiful text reads, and as the others banded together at what the Earthbound called the Twilight Gap, the wolves were denied Earth, the Mariad. So you do seem to get a bounty from entering the reef and then going back to the tower. Now, the speaker. The speaker has something that people have wanted for a long time. Material exchange. The speaker is going to bring some really, really awesome stuff here. He's not going to be worthless anymore. It's going to actually be worthwhile stuff. So you can see here, 1 Ascendant Energy and a little bit of Glimmer, only 50 Glimmer, actually translates to 1 shard. So if you're a little bit short on shards, a little bit short on energy, then you can go ahead and interchange those. Those are interchangeable. And then we have Motes of Light. You can actually buy Motes of Light with Ascendant shards. So let's say you need some Ascendant shards, but hey, I don't have any. I have 50 energy. Transfer the energy to shards, and then shards into motes. That's pretty damn cool. You can also buy Glimmer with shards if you have an abundance and you don't want a Glimmer farm, which is pretty cool. As for Radiant Shards, this is interesting. Eris apparently won't have a use anymore because you don't need to go to Eris. It's only it's a 1-to-1 trade and 50 Glimmer, and no Black Wax Idols, no rank needed. It's just a straight trade, which is kind of cool. I like that. That applies to both energy and shards. And also, it is the same as the previous Glimmer. It's I believe it's 2 Radiant Shards to 250 Glimmer and 2 Radiant Shards for Moat of Light, which is not really a good trade, but whatever. Here we have the New Monarchy. I believe that's New Monarchy, right? Yes, New Monarchy chest piece. It has a few buffs there. I think it has Pulse Rifle and Sniper Rifle ammo increase. But clearly you can also see something on the left there that will be touched on later. I just want to show you guys some of the armor pieces. Feel free to pause it at your will. I don't really have much to say here. Here's the Vindicator. It is at 331, so it starts at 331. You can upgrade them to 365. Again, I'll touch on upgrading in just a moment. Stats don't look the greatest, but whatever. In terms of perks, it has... Actually, I think I could talk about perks in a little bit. The Red Hand 9 is actually going to be sold, which is really, really awesome. I'm not sure what those 2 perks are called. However, it says that this weapon gains better target acquisition. I don't know what that means exactly or how that works in game. That's pretty cool. It also says rapidly landing precision hits will return 1 round to the magazine. So I guess if you hit 3 hits, you get 3 precision hits, you get 1 round back to the magazine. That's not bad. It rewards accuracy. We have our Judgment, what is it, 6? Judgment 6 with pretty high impact, pretty high range and stability. So we have a perk there. Kills with this weapon grant a brief boost to the sprint's top speed, and melee kills while this weapon is equipped have a chance to refill the magazine. Pretty cool new perks. I'm digging those. Here we have our Pacifier X or Pacifier 10, which is a machine gun. Has a pretty high fire. It's one of those mid to high rate of fire, very, very high impact for a machine gun. It has persistence and what is that? Counterbalance or perfect balance, whatever. I'll look into that a little bit later. Here we have the Admonisher, which is a fairly well-known rocket launcher. Pretty high blast radius, whatever. It has tracking, which is really interesting. It actually comes with tracking, and I believe that's spray and play. Increases the reload speed of this weapon when the mag is empty, yes. Here's the Pacifier. Pacifier is a solar machine gun, again. It has, looks like counterbalance. I'm going to guess that's quick draw? I don't know what that perk is actually. That doesn't look like high caliber. It might be high caliber. Snapshot and persistence. And the final perk in the middle tree, I have no clue what that is. It was never shown, never displayed. I'm pretty sure Gathalia knows what that is because look at that smirk on his face. Look at it. Look at him. He happy. Now, from what I can guess on that perk, it ups one thing and downs another thing. So I'm going to guess maybe increase magazine size, decrease stability. Could be increased rate of fire, decrease impact. It could be opposite. It could be decreased rate of fire, but increase impact. It could be increase your range and decrease your stability. I have no clue what that perk is. And this is what the weapon looks like without any of the perks there. It looks pretty damn nice. This is the Vindicator without any of the sexiness. It looks pretty damn cool. And this is it with all the perks. So we have that speed. Whereas once you get a kill with this weapon, you have a higher top speed, which is pretty cool. Snapshot, skip rounds, and again, that up and down perk and persistence. Pretty good auto rifle. It would be nicer if it had more impact or a larger magazine, but beggars can't be choosers here. Here is the Red Hand 9. It has those 2 perks, the precision perks, which again, I don't know. I don't know what that means with the tracking. That's really interesting. But it has Send It, Lightweight. I believe that's Lightweight. And again, that up and down perk. I'm really interested in what that other perk is, that 3rd tier perk. It looks really interesting. Here we have a New Monarchy boots. It is level 36, so it will give you overall level of 32, but you do need to upgrade those. Intellect and Strength. We have the chest piece, which is, again, intellect and strength. All of them are intellect and strength. I won't repeat that. Here are the gloves, which look okay. And we have the hood or the helmet. Here we go. Let's go over to the Crucible Handler. The Crucible Handler here, this is just a brief overview of what it looks like. all the gear looks pretty damn nifty. If I do say so myself, it does look pretty damn nifty. The first set here, this is called the Talion Grace. Looks pretty good. Again, needs to be upgraded, but looks pretty cool. Then we have our Talion Grace. I guess they're all going to be called Talion Grace. Yeah, they're all going to be called Talion Grace. There is the chest piece, and there are the leg armor. And as you can see, this is the profile of what it looks like, and that is what it looks like up front. It looks pretty damn nice. I kind of like the way it looks, very regal, very elegant. Those eyes are menacing. Here's a second piece of armor. We have the gauntlets here, and then we have the helmet. That was the gauntlets. Now there's the chest piece and the boots there, and this is what Unity Clad looks like. That looks very regal, actually. It looks very majestic, very royal. Looks pretty damn beastie. So this is an overview of the Crucible Quartermasters. That was the armor. This is the Quartermaster. We still have our vehicles. We still have our material exchange, which is cool. We have 6 brand new weapons. This is the lowdown P14, PX11V, which is 14. High rate of fire, low impact. Really, really, really good stability, though. That's some crazy unupgraded stability. As we can see on the perks, I do believe we get a nice view of the lowdown a little bit later, so we'll go there. 0 point LOTP or LOTP, I guess that's LOTP. Really, like kind of low tier fire rate, but good impact, higher range, higher stability, higher reload. Kind of one of those very PvP oriented, it looks like PvP oriented scout rifles, which makes sense because it's the Crucible Quartermaster. Now we have the up the ante hand cannons. Hand cannons are very popular in PvP. This is a very high fire rate for a hand cannon, semi-low impact with pretty low stability. So I feel like this is going to be one of those kind of spray and play hand cannons. We also have a couple perks here. Unassisted kills with this weapon reduce grenade and melee cooldown, and readying this weapon grants a brief period of bonus accuracy. I'm not sure what readying means, if that means aiming down the sights, not moving, I'm not sure, but that's pretty cool. Here is the 0 point LOTP. Again, we have that precision perk where 3 precision kills, I assume 3 precision shots, grants 1 round right back to the magazine. We have, that is high caliber, I believe it's high caliber, custom optics, and that random perk we don't know, and third eye. Here's the lowdown P14, crowd control, that looks like armor piercing rounds, send it, that random perk, and counterbalance or perfect balance, counter stability, whatever that stability perk is called. Here we have the hard luck charm, which I do believe we get to see a little bit more later, but it has that speed and melee shotgun thingy, which is cool. The hard luck charm has a pretty high rate of fire and high impact, a little bit less range than the previous shotgun from New Monarchy, but looks pretty good. Here we have the subtle nudge DN7. We have a grenadier and better target acquisition. I'm guessing that's, you know what better target acquisition could be? That could be possibly better aim assist. That's what I'm guessing. That could be better aim assist, which is possible. And here is the single frame I kind of somehow caught as he was just kind of scrolling over it. The Pax Totalis EPR-8. And this is a rocket launcher, a solar rocket launcher with very, very low blast radius and velocity. However, really, really high reload. So this might be a pretty good PvP weapon if you can get your blast radius up there a little bit higher. All in all, it looks okay. Looks not bad. Here we have the Shadow Price. So this is all about upgrading now. This is Deej's 300 Shadow Price. The Shadow Price is an AR that was made from the first part of the game before the Dark Below rolled around and raised the cap to 331. He has had this. A lot of people have kept their Shadow Prices because it's a very, very comfortable, very good AR. And now ARs hopefully won't be non-existent or you know, kind of negligible, but hopefully they will be cool. What we see here though is the Ascend. This increases the attack value of this weapon from the highest available in year 1. That kind of alludes to the fact that this is going to be a continuing thing where you can constantly upgrade, which is cool with me. It requires 750 Glimmer, whatever material, in this case Spirit Bloom, and 1 Etheric Light. Now Etheric Light, from what Deej was saying in the video, is that Etheric Light can be acquired from the Prison of Elders, that's the PvE event, the Trials of Osiris, which is the PvP event, Iron Banner, and Nightfalls. Even he said even Nightfalls. And Gathian said, well, if it's a Nightfalls and Iron Banner, then you don't need the DLC to hit 34. And Deej confirmed that you can get all these materials without DLC, and you can achieve light level 34 without DLC. That is a massive, huge, big ups to all the folks who just can't afford a $15 or excuse me, a $20 DLC. Really, really, really nice of Bungie to do that. They did say it's going to take a lot longer because you're going to have less sources to acquire Etheric Light. However, if you get one out of a Nightfall randomly, then you can go ahead and upgrade any piece of weaponry. And I think any piece of armor as well. We'll touch on that in a little bit. Here's the 300 saddle price, and boom, there it is at 365. You do not need to re-level any of your gear. However, your gear does need to be maxed out, at least in experience wise. You don't have to have all the bubbles filled, but they do have to have the green circle around them all the way to the very end. Then you can upgrade to your new and improved 365. Here is, they didn't have a picture of actually upgrading pre and post, but this is a Vexed Mythoclast. That means all exotics and all legendary gear prior to the House of Wolves will be able to be upgraded to 365. Yes, you can now have your Vexed Mythoclast and your Yellowhorn and whatever your Thunderlords, your Icebreakers, every weapon, Fatebringers can all get up to 365. Speaking of Fatebringers, boom, there's a Fatebringer as well. Here's a Fatebringer, max 365, super, super duper cool. And again, Deej didn't have the weapon parts on hand, but you can upgrade exotics. Exotics do take an exotic shard instead of a etheric, what are they called? Etheric light. So actually your exotics are going to be way, way, way easier to upgrade. So I would highly recommend that you stock up on exotic shards now and weapon parts and glimmer, because come the House of Wolves day of release, you could have basically all your exotics maxed out because it does not take etheric light. Your legendaries do, so legendaries are going to be a little bit harder to upgrade, while your exotics are going to be pretty much an instant upgrade, which is super fucking cool. Also, he dismantled this Yellowhorn. Here is a Deviant Gravity A. Again, etheric light, glimmer, weapon parts, you can max this out. Here is the Hard Luck Charm that they actually purchased from the Crucible vendor, the Crucible Quartermaster. It has here the melee kills with this weapon. What is that? Whatever that first perk is, the melee kill perk. That's pretty cool. You send it high caliber in that random perk, and then you have the speed perk where if you get a kill with this weapon, you can increase your top speed. Now, as you can see on the left, you can reforge weapons. Now hold on, before you go ahead and start reforging all your weapons, you can only reforge House of Wolves weaponry. Still, hold your pitchforks, it's still pretty damn cool. Now if you have a shadow price, if you have an up for anything, you won't be able to re-roll those perks. However, any of the new perks you will be able to. So it is reforge ready. The gunsmith can reforge this weapon, changing its available upgrades but resetting any progression or ascension. To reforge, equip this weapon and speak to the gunsmith. So, without further ado, let's go to the gunsmith here. Here is the brand new and improved gunsmith. As you can see, he is going to reforge the weapon. It needs obviously the weapon, 1 mode of light, 3 weapon parts, which is nothing, and 250 glimmer. You can completely reforge it. All the perks are random, everything is new. Now, take a note or a look here. Did you notice something? There's telemetries there. You don't have to rely on Xur for telemetries anymore. You can get telemetries at any time for like literally nothing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Now, also, these are blanked out right now, and as you can see, Deej here is missing weapon parts. He went to the vault, picked up weapon parts, and came back, and all 6 of those telemetries were accessible and to purchase. So I'm guessing it requires weapon parts and or glimmer. It 100% requires weapon parts, and it's either a little bit of glimmer or a lot of glimmer. I have no clue, but still, we can buy telemetries, and that's super fucking awesome. Here is a Hard Luck Charm after he reforged it once. It has Replenish, which is this weapon's magazine will be refilled when a super is cast, which I thought that's actually pretty cool. What if you unload your 6 shots in your Hard Luck Charm, you super on an enemy, and then you already have 6 shots ready to go. It's a very, very high action paced perk, and I think that's really damn cool. Here at the end of this chain here, we also have Army of One, which is unassisted kills with this weapon, reduced grenade and melee cooldown. That's not bad, that's pretty cool. That means if you basically go up to an enemy and you shotgun him and just blast him off the map, you've reduced both your grenade and melee cooldown. This is very, very optimal for run and gun players, it seems, in PvP, which is pretty cool. This is just showing you that you can also upgrade all your old raid gear. This is Gloves of the Heathen Lords, which is a Vault of Glass piece of raid gear, which is super fucking cool. Now, again, it requires Glimmer, some kind of material, and Etheric Light. So it seems that legendaries of all quality from the old pre-House of Wolves, whether that be gear or armor, is upgradable. Now, they didn't explicitly say that all legendary armor is upgradable. As we see here, this is the Deathstinger's Herald. It is also a piece of raid gear, which is the Crota's boots. However, they never explicitly said that all legendary armor is upgradable. However, I would go on a limb here and say that all legendary armor is upgradable. Whether that be you have some random like Malinia type 0 whatever, I'm pretty sure that's upgradable. If it is limited to raid gear, that's okay too, because running 2 raids on, let's say, 3 characters, which gives you 6 opportunities to get some gear, which is not bad at all. You're not going to be strapped for gear as long as you start preparing now, that's for sure. Again, acquires Etheric Light and some material and Glimmer, so that's pretty cool. This is a very ugly screenshot of the Dead Orbit. I had to do some cropping here, but this is the Dead Orbit. It has 6 new weapons. They look pretty cool, and it has some Crucible armor. This is the chest piece. Again, nothing really special. It has Discipline and Strength. This is the hood, or the helmet. This is the gauntlets. This is the Yellowhorn that he was dismantling. No, he dismantled the Yellowhorn live on stream and I was so sad. I was so sad. Just some other notes I have here is that you do not need Xur to upgrade exotics. You can literally upgrade all your exotics on the fly, which is really awesome. Xur, or Xur, will still sell exotics, and he will still sell the armor, the weapon, and an exotic shard, and an engram. I assume he will not be selling heavy ammo anymore. That's my guess. He might still be doing that. Maybe he probably, actually he probably still will sell heavy ammo. But yeah, that's really, really cool. Some last few things that were touched on were a possible Glimmer cap increase. When Gathalion posed this question, Deej and Christopher kind of looked at each other and said, I don't know, it's kind of in the works. We hear it. We have to make sure that if people do need Glimmer, if people are getting strapped for cash, strapped for currency, and they do need it, we'll look into it. It's something on the table. So I would predict a Glimmer cap increase come Comet DLC, or the Comet, whatever it's called. And then trading was asked. Gathalion said, hey, we in the community have all asked about trading, whether trading is going to be implemented. And they all kind of unanimously, all 3 of the folks did unanimously agree that trading was probably not going to be a thing, at least not in this iteration of Destiny. It would require a lot of intricate nonsense that really, really wouldn't be good. And as Deej made an example, it's kind of nice to win something, to get something, and to earn it. Earn it being, let's say you do a raid and you get a Vex Mythoclast. That is an earned piece of gear. If someone just traded you a Vex Mythoclast, and you're like, oh yeah, cool, that's great, but it's like, you didn't really accomplish anything. So I think trading, at least for Destiny, this iteration of Destiny, this Destiny game, probably not going to be a thing. But yeah, and Gathalion also asked about a 3rd subclass, what's happening there? And Deej said literally nothing, but quote unquote, there is a future for Destiny, and we will be talking about it in the future. So I assume 3rd subclasses are going to be out sometime in the future. I would guess the Comet, which is the big, huge, massive, quote unquote DLC, which is it's basically a massive Destiny 1.5. And yeah, it's gonna be awesome. This announcement was amazing. If the next upcoming weeks are exactly like this, it's going to be so much information week after week after week. Next week, April 29th, which is a Wednesday at 11 a.m. PST, which is 2 p.m. EST, which is 7 p.m. GMT. Those are the main time zones. The Trials of Osiris, the PvP portion, will be taking place with Triple Rec TV. talking about all the PvP events, how it works, what the tournament is, how it works, and all the intricacies associated with that. A little bit more in depth about those packages that we saw, rewards, etc., etc. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. I know it was a lot of information, very, very bombarding. If you did watch all the way to the end, I really appreciate if you can drop a like, a favorite, and if you're new, hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey. House of Wolves is dropping May 19th. It's very, very exciting. I'm super hyped. Thank you so much, guys, and have yourself a great day.